Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to FTB Interactions. So, since last episode, I've done quite a bit of things. First and foremost, I did put a ceiling over this. There's going to be more that goes off in that direction. But for right now, it blocks off the snow that keeps falling on top of our glass here. So this place is pretty well covered up, and you will notice that all of our machines, except for this digital mob agonizer, have been moved. They have been moved over here because basically I decided that I wanted to flip-flop this. And before too long, this tree farm is going to get moved out of here at long last. So it's not going to be sitting right inside of this area. And then we'll add additional trees and all that good stuff. And I've got them, it's all set up the exact same way. It's just a little bit cleaner, I think, for the most part. So the wood comes in here, charcoal comes out there and goes in, then coal coke comes out here. And then all of our creosote is pumped out of this side and then goes into our boiler. And then our boiler connects directly into our dynamic tank, which actually got a little bit larger. I do need to put more structural glass here, but this is good for now. And we've got 8 million millibuckets stored inside of our dynamic tank. Over here, I have moved these. And by the way, we have a valve. Actually, if I pull this up, you can see there's a valve over here and there's a valve on the opposite side. Basically just one back from this. And it goes under the floor and takes the steam over to here. And I have 4 basic steam turbines set there. And then this is all 4x10 cable that comes out. Basically just upgrading from our old system because we're going to have more machines now. And then this, of course, aqueous accumulator. And then I've got mechanical pipes that bring up water. That's just a temporary fix. We're actually probably going to be changing that today. So we're not going to be using these advanced mechanical pipes sticking out the front side of this. But and then I have macerator, the 4x washing plants, forge hammer, centrifuge, electric furnace, autoclave set up over here. And then, let's see, right over here is our electric blast furnace. And the one thing I did add to this is added an input hatch for liquids. And that is so that I can make this right here, the red alloy ingots. Instead of having to use 4 redstone and 1 copper per, I'm now using 288 destabilized redstone and 1 copper, which is only 2 redstone. So I cut the redstone cost because I was making so much getting ready for the stuff that we're going to be making today that I was like, okay, I'm done spending 4 redstone per red alloy, and I made a basic fluid extractor. So you can just drop the redstone or the, whatever you're extracting that destabilized redstone from, throw it into here and you'll get your liquid. So, and then another new machine that I made is the assembling machine. And this is basically for making our cables a bit easier. Plus we need to make copper cables. I went ahead and set this up and started filling this up with rubber from the chemical reactor. We covered this before, raw rubber pulp and sulfur dust gets us our rubber. And I think that's all as far as new machines. I just made those 2 just because it made my life a little bit easier. The copper cables, I haven't really crafted much that takes copper cables, but I went ahead and set stuff up that takes copper cables. And we'll go down there and take a look at that. I also spent a while working on sorting, so you can see I've added more caches around through here. And then over here I've started putting in some of our gems and stuff. So we've got some redstone, glowstone, nether quartz, diamond, emerald, lapis, and aquamarine. And of course we're going to add more things to this as time goes on. So, and if we head upstairs, basically I just spent a while building some of this out. Over the weekend I was building on here and I was building on DDSS a bit. So, and then a lot of time prepping on here, prepping machine stuff. So, and figuring out how I wanted to build this out. And I was watching the newest season of Lucifer finally. It's been out for like a week, but I had to find the time. And this weekend I had the time to watch that season. So I have quite enjoyed it. I love that show so much. So anyways, then if we head downstairs, down here I have done a bunch of sorting as well. You can see this room has expanded out. all the way to there with stuff, with caches, lots of caches. That's where a lot of my red alloy went, and why I was starting to run out of redstone and had to do something. I did do a bit of mining though for redstone, for tin, and for sulfur. So, and then over here I've added some more caches, and then through here I have cut down the number of chests. These are the only chests that are not sorted. So, and this is all stuff that will be sorted, but. And then up here, this is all equipment. This is going to be getting a spot here soon. Actually, right over there. This is all food items, just miscellaneous food items from our exploration. And then over here, this little area here is potions. Random potions. So, a bit of time sorting since last episode. And then machine prep. I have spent a bit of time prepping up machines. So, well, that's X-Tones, but right here we have a basic polarizer. We're going to be using this today, so we might as well go ahead and pull this out. Oh, and I did complete a quest right here. The assembling machine, we get a programmed circuit and 8 soldering alloy ingots. And we've actually made all these LV machines, except for the compressor. We still haven't made a compressor. I'm still using the basic steam one. Whenever I need a compressor, we will make one of those before too long. So, the reason we need the basic polarizer is for this right here. And let me go make... I'm actually just going to go ahead and do 6 of these. Because what we need to make, if you recall before when we were making LV machines, we had to make the magnetic iron rods. Well, now we need to make magnetic... I wonder if I should just put it here. Yeah, we'll just put it here. We need to make magnetic steel rods. And the only way to do that is through the basic polarizer. So, these right here, you can see the electromagnetic polarizer is the only route for that, I believe. I don't think we can, yeah, that's the electromagnetic polarizer. Yeah, I think that's going to be the only way that we can do that. So, but anyways, there's 6 of those. And then let's head back down here. And we're going to use these inside of here. And I actually might have to make some more aluminum rods. I can't remember if I made enough of these or not. But we're going to get ourselves some MV electric motors. And actually, before we do that... Yeah, actually, before we do that, let's pop up here real quick. I forgot about something that I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves... We've actually got a bit of aluminum. We've got 58. All right, but let's take our aluminum and we're going to run this through the bending machine real quick. Because if you recall last episode, we looked at getting into MV, but I had to get the assembler and it was running late on the episode, so then I didn't. This right here, just throw in copper wire. You're also going to need a program circuit set to configuration 24. But you can do that. We can do that now for all of our wires. We don't have to use black wool and string anymore. So we're pretty much free from that. And rubber is super easy, super cheap to make. So let's go ahead and that. And we get our MV machine casing. And then that. And we get our MV machine hull. And quest completed, quest completed, quest completed. That's a big point getting into MV. And so we've completed quite a few quests here. First up, this one here, we get another MV machine hull. Awesome. I actually need 2 of them this episode, and I was planning on that one. So, and then over here under God's Plan, this quest right here, we get a medium voltage reward. We get 4 basic electronic circuits. I should have noticed that, because that would have saved me actually a little bit of work, but that's okay. And we get 4 MV machine hulls. So yay. And we'll just drop that down right there. Alright, so now we've got 6 MV machine hulls. That's pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and just put these away for now. Okay, and since we've got that, let's pop back over here. I don't think we're going to have enough. Well, I know for a fact we're not going to have enough for these quests, but that's okay. Anyways, right here, we can get ourselves 3 of our electric motors. And then if we take these electric motors and we add these, actually 2 of these go here. And then this right here, if we drop an electric motor in there, we get an electric piston. So that completes a task. We throw that electric piston into here and we get an MV robotic arm. That's what we've really been after. Okay, and that completes 2 of those. So yay. And then, yeah, and then we've got that. Let's see, right here. I've got this laid out. This is for good electronic circuits. We'll go ahead and grab 6 of those. And we got a quest complete good electronic circuits. Oh, for this. Okay, and we get 4 integrated logic circuits for that quest. In this quest here, we get 4 good electronic circuits. Man, I could have saved on having to craft all that out because I didn't realize I was going to get all that from a quest. But that's fine because we can use it. I have no qualms with it. Right over here, if we drop an MV machine hole into there, we get an advanced alloy smelter. So yay, there's that. And then I also want to get one other thing, and I've got most of it laid out over there, but I can't remember what pieces I'm missing. Oh, I need 2 more electric motors. That's what it was. So I'm going to need 2 aluminum rods and 2 copper, or yeah, 4 aluminum rods, 4 copper cables. And we will be using these electronic circuits here in just a little bit for something that we need, because today, of course, we are going to be overhauling the ore processing, making it fully automatic to where we can just drop in ores and the stuff goes where it needs to go. But there's a lot that goes into that for the setup that we're going to be using. And this right here is one of the key things that we need, which actually, now that I think about it, I need 2 of those. So I will have to... yeah, I'll have to cut here in a little bit and craft up another one of these. But that's fine. Anyways, there's 2 of those. We'll drop them into there, and we get, which actually, this quest right here, I want to check something. I wonder if I had 16 total. Okay, let me test this real quick. So, I'll show you this. So if we throw copper into there, and let's get ourselves 2 of those. We throw it into the fluid extractor. Get that running. Let's grab this. There we go. And there we go. We're going to grab the redstone. And we're going to put that into there. And that's going to get this thing running. So you can see it doesn't take a whole lot of time. And then there's our red alloy ingot. Oops. Let me... grab that. And then for our cables, like I said, we don't need the black wool anymore, which is great. We can throw that into there, get that running, and it's going to make our cables for us. Okay, so there's our good electronic circuit, and fingers crossed, doesn't look like it's going to count. It looks like it has to be 16 either or. Okay, well, can I use these? No, I can't. Okay. Well, anyways, we're going to have those a lot easier to make here soon, but anyways, there's our advanced steam turbine. We're just going to roll with it. Okay, so now if we take this... Okay, and I seem to have dropped my pick somewhere, and I don't know where it went, so I got to make another one of those. Okay, so let's remove this for right now. Let's drop down our advanced steam turbine. And then our advanced alloy smelter. There we go. Now we're making this because we're going to be making an advanced alloy this episode. Not right this second, but we will here in just a minute. Or actually, no, we should probably go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do, let's pop down here. And let's go get ourselves some ender pearls. And I'm going to say, we're going to start with 4 for right now. And then let's pop back up here. And let's go over to our macerator. I still need to make some dedicated ones of these, but that's fine for right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this running. There we go. And this, I'll just trash it because we've got infinite. Okay, so ender pearl dust. And then let's get ourselves 4 pieces of iron. So we're going to be making iron plus ender pearl dust. If we run that, and it has to be through an advanced alloy smelter, because if we take a look here, alloy smelter, you can see it takes 48 EU per tick. Amperage is limited to 1, so it has to be something that's an MV level power. But we're going to get pulsating iron ingots. And I've actually got, right here, I've actually got some conduit binder made up. Because I had to make some more fluid conduits between episodes. Just standard ones for now is fine. And then we're going to take this stuff, of course. We're going to break it down into pulsating iron nuggets. And we are going to make ourselves a stack of item conduits. So there we go. And we got a quest completed. I'm sure it's under supply chain management right there. Item conduits. So, no quest reward for that one. Probably for the best. And then what we're going to do is let's see. Let's actually pop down here. I'm going to get like a chest. And of course we could use these chests, but I'm going to try to move away from the Greg Tech chests. I actually made up a couple steel chests, but then I regretted it because the Greg Tech chests are they're buggy and they're just bad. Like, see, they just go invisible randomly depending on where you're standing, which is no fun. And then in addition, if you move them with a dolly, you will crash. Like, whenever you place them back down, if you try to open it, you will crash. 100% every single time, so they're dangerous like that. So let's just get ourselves just a regular chest for the time being, and then we'll make some upgrades for it. They're not that bad, really. And for our input chest, let's just set this up like, say... Well, actually, you know what? No. Instead of going with that, we are going to use up some of those circuits that I made. And I'll show you what we're going to be making with those. Which, depending on how we set this up, I'm still on the fence about a couple things. So, I may not need as many as I made, but that's okay because it's one of those things we're going to be using those circuits a lot moving forward. But what we're going to be making is we're going to make ourselves some memory chests. Okay, these are made in the assembler. We're going to need a gold chest. We are going to need memory cards. I'm going to go for the large memory chest. You can make the other ones, but it's kind of a waste because the large ones have more slots. And I think for most things that you would need a memory chest for, I think most of things, you probably want more slots, like ideally. So we're just going to be going for the large one because it kind of fits what we need. So we're going to have to make some memory cards. These are made just like this. Very, very simply. And I guess we could just use these basic electronic circuits that we got from the quest reward. So, or wait, it has to be like this. Oh no, that's integrated processors. These are basic. Okay, that's fine. There we go. So there's 3 memory cards. Yay. And then we're going to need to get ourselves 3 chests. And we're going to have to upgrade these. Okay, so we're going to need 24 iron plates, 24 gold plates, and then I think this one's going to need iron plates. So 25 iron plates. What I've been doing for the chest upgrading is we can actually make these very, very easily using the cutting saw with just a block. So we can just throw in our iron ingots right there, and grab our block mold, drop that into there, and turn those into blocks. And then we can just run these through the, if I can find the thing, cutting saw. We can just run them through there. And that way it makes 9 plates at a time. It is a little bit slower to craft, as you can tell. But it's faster overall making the plates this way. Okay, these are starting to get done. These gold ones do take a while. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. And then let's pop over here. We'll do that. There's our wood to iron chest upgrades. And then we can take these and of course upgrade them. And there's our first iron to gold chest upgrade. And then let's pop down here. And we'll go ahead and upgrade these. And then that. Okay, there's our gold chest. And then in the assembling machine, let's go ahead. We'll throw that in. We'll throw that in. That's going to start running. Doesn't matter if we keep our program circuit and our rubber in here. Doesn't matter. So, And then here is dun, 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 our very first large memory chest. Okay. So now that we've got that, what we're going to do is we're going to set this up. This will probably get moved slightly, but we're going to put it right here for right now. And you can see this thing has a lot of different slots in it. So what we're going to do, and what we're basically going to have every different ore slotted in here, and that way we can just have like general outputs pumped into there. And it's only going to accept, you know, certain things. And that way we've always got basically just at a glance we can see what all ores we're processing, and we can keep it specific to ores that are processed in this area, because later on I'm not for sure, there might be some ores that we process different ways. We'll see. I know that the end of the stuff will change depending, because some things will go through autoclaves, some things will get smelted, some things will end at the centrifuge, you know, it all just depends. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to put limonite there. And then what we can do is middle click, and there we go. That one is now saved to limonite, for example. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our item conduits, and we're just going to plug this into here. And this is going to be on the green line. We're going to leave it like that. We're going to say always active, green, and that's good. And then we'll just pump these items out, which we'll probably put these conduits under the floor. Yeah, actually, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so extract, always active, and then just pump out right along through here. And then what we'll do, we'll come up right there, but I want to clip off that connection for right now. And instead what we're going to do is we're going to have it come up right in here. And then we're going to say that we're going to set that to brown line. We're going to say insert. So it's not going to be able to insert anything from this because this is extracting on the green line. Over here, we're going to say that you insert on the green line. Okay, so it's going to start pumping in that limonite. And then, you know, we can stack macerators. We can have multiple macerators up through here. And this room will get expanded a lot. Like this room over here isn't going to be tree farm forever. And then we'll have these machines, and this will actually get moved, and it'll kind of just machines out through here that are all processing stuff. But this is going to be like a central processing area for all of our main just generic processing. Of course, later on we're going to have to include astral sorcery and chickens and all these different things into it. But for right now, like this room is just going to be for the machine part of things. Okay, so we're creating crushed yellow limonite ore. Awesome. And this stuff, I think it's pretty much just going to go straight into the ore washer. I don't think there's going to be any variation there. I mean, if we went straight to pulverizing, we have a 14% chance to get nickel dust. But if we wash it, we get 3 tiny piles of nickel dust. And I don't know, there might be some ores that we handle a little bit differently, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I think for now what we're going to do is we're going to extract on the brown channel, say always active. And it's going to start pumping into here. And then we're going to bring this up. Brown channel insert. Brown channel insert. Insert. And then the extraction is going to be round robin. Okay, so it's going to round robin to all these different machines. Or it should. Okay, and you can see we're now producing purified yellow limonite and tiny piles of nickel dust. And we're also producing stone dust. Stone dust, let's see. I guess I want to set up a cache for that because we will use it for certain things, but let's see, it'll mainly be mixer stuff, but we're going to keep it. Let's grab ourselves a cache. I'm just going to take one of these. Grab the wrench. If you want to remove these, just shift right click with a crescent hammer to do that. So first and foremost, let's set up a drawer for this. And let's go ahead and set this to, we're going to say the extract channel is going to be blue. We'll say always active. Blue, always active. Blue, always active. And I guess we can go ahead and turn on round robin on these. And really I should do it on this too. Just so whenever we have multiple macerators, you know, that's going to handle that. Okay, so this should be all set up. So everything's extracting on the blue channel. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run up, we're going to bring them right down through here, I think. And they'll come up and connect right there. And then what we'll do is, we'll bring conduits right up here as well. And let's go ahead and break off that connection and break off that connection. Okay, so what we're going to do, there's 3 places that this is going to output to, because we're going to have the purified dust, which is basically going to go straight into the forge hammer. Long term, that's going to get changed over once we can get byproducts, which will be once we hit the Polarizer, which isn't until EV. But we will. That's when I'm planning on waiting until then for us to overhaul all the machines, and we probably won't even make any other or any upgraded machines. Maybe more basic machines, maybe more basic macerators and basic ore washing plants and stuff like that. But we probably won't make any higher tier machines until we hit EV, I think, because it's just kind of a waste. This will be plenty fast, especially with it being on a server. It's going to be plenty fast to handle our materials as we expand out. But so for right now, it's just going to go straight into the forge hammer. You can thermal centrifuge it, and you'll get brown limonite. But if we centrifuge it after forge hammering, we get, well, in that case, we get brown limonite. Some things I think you get different stuff, if I recall, but I don't think there's any special byproducts that we're going to miss out. I mean, I think all of it's just kind of choice sort of things, and I think you know, that's going to be one of those things we'll just keep an eye out and see if there's any other different ways we want to process stuff. But this is for the majority of our stuff, which will be pretty much everything at the moment, at least. So what we're going to do, we're not going to filter on this, because that's just too much stuff that we're going to have to filter if we do it that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, where do I want to put the stone dust? I'm actually thinking about setting it up right over here, in fact. And then what I would do is we could plug up our item conduits, and this will be on the blue line. So we're going to say that you can insert on blue. You're going to be a priority of 10. Okay, but all it's going to accept is stone dust. Oh, but well, I could set up a trash can. I was going to say, well, we could do one of the Ender Utilities drawers, but no, we'll just do stone dust. We'll go ahead and lock that. And then I'll set up a trash can. Once that gets close to field, I'll set up a trash can that can feed items over. So we'll run these over. Right now there is 10 stone dust in there, and as soon as we plug that up, we should see this number start to increase. So there's 26, 42, 57, 69, 79. Okay. And then actually over here, I was trashing stone dust because we have all of this filled up. But now I can move these over there with the dolly. And let's just say blue, extract. Yeah, there we go. It's extracting them. So we're going to let that empty out, let that fill up this cache with stone dust. And if we take a look here, the stone dust is gone. Now it's filling up with tiny piles of nickel. Okay. And so then what we need to do, we need to handle the tiny piles of nickel dust. And what we're going to do is, let me grab that. Let's do that. And if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But I know this has been highly requested. There's been a lot of people ready for me to get onto the, like just on the Patreon server, there's been a lot of people, and actually in the comments for the videos, there's been a lot of people asking about some of this stuff. So hopefully this answers any questions on how we're going to be doing our auto ore processing system for now. Okay, let's throw these in here. We're going to get 2 more of those memory chests. Oops, I don't want the polarizer. That. Get that running. I really should have got this running first, but that's okay. But while that's running, let's go ahead and pull up the filters. And we want, right over here, there's some GregTech filters. And I want ore dictionary filters, which this is olivine plate and zinc foil. And zinc foil, the metal bender, the zinc plates, configuration 4. Okay. Let's pop over here. Let's get a couple pieces of that silver. Okay, actually I don't think I think I prepared some zinc, but I think it was just what we used. But I've got zinc dust. So let me go ahead and get that smelted up real quick. And we're also going to need those olivine plates, which we have to use the cutting saw for that. Well, there's our zinc ingots. So let's go ahead and we'll drop those into the bending machine. And let's go get our olivine. And I'm going to go ahead and make 2 of these because we're going to need them. I've got olivine ore. And I've actually got 4 olivine dust right here. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go for maximum efficiency right now. And that's simply because I've got stuff inside the ore washers and I would have to empty that out and then I have to like handle it, and I don't want to handle it. I just want to get this stuff set up. So I think what we're going to do is let's pop over here. We'll just macerate this, get our crushed olivine. I wish I could just do something with it right now. Okay, there's 8 of those. We'll go ahead and drop that back in there. We're going to drop this into the forge hammer. We're going to get impure piles. We're just going to skip the washing for now. That's fine. And then we'll drop this into the centrifuge, get that running. The autoclave, there's a couple different ways you can do this. I did make this, and I went ahead and tossed in some liquid starlight. What we can do, you can either use water, 200 millibuckets, distilled water, 200 millibuckets. But if you do that, you only have a 70% chance and a 90% chance. And that actually changes. I think some things are like 50% and 75%. But if you use liquid starlight, you only use 25 millibuckets in this case. It changes depending on the gem. But you do have a 100% chance to get the gem that you're after. And it's a whole lot faster too, because this takes 100 seconds. That's 50 seconds. That's 5 seconds. Okay, so you're really not going to consume a whole lot of liquid starlight, especially for us right now because we're not running things just full throttle. So we're just going to go ahead and use this as is. So we'll just go ahead and run that through the autoclave and get ourselves our olivine. And we'll just throw that into there. And our memory chest should be done. So let's go ahead and grab those. So there's 2 of those. And then I also want those packagers that we made a while back that I had prepped up for getting this stuff set up. And what we're going to do, we're going to set up these packagers. And I'm going to put these, I'm actually going to put them probably for right now at least, I'm going to put them here. And that's due to the fact that the forge hammer is so fast, and it's going to be a while before we push on to EV. And so I don't think we're going to have multiple forge hammers. If anything, there might be 2. But chances are probably just 1. So we're going to set our packagers up there and there. And then we're going to place our memory chests. Well, actually, before we place those down, what we're going to do is we're going to take our robot arm and we are going to just right-click that right there. It's going to go on this side. And I need another robot arm. I'm going to cut here in just a minute and prep that up. But what we're going to do... see, is our olivine done? It is. Wonderful. And to make a block of this. Okay, it's done in the compressor. Easy enough. And I'm just going to set this compressor up right there. Just because I can. We're going to get an LV one soon. Was that the machine that we're missing, is the compressor? Yeah. We'll make an actual LV compressor soon. Maybe even this episode. We'll see. Well, probably not. Main focus of this episode is just getting an auto ore processing system in place that we can have available, and it'll just send the stuff where it needs to go, and it's all hands off. So, okay, there's our olivine, and we'll throw that into the cutting machine, get that running, and our zinc should be done. It is. The setting that we needed for this was configuration 4. So we'll just pull this out for just a second. We'll do that. And there is our zinc foil. Awesome. And there's our olivine plates. Even better. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this back to 0, because most of the time what I'm using it for is plates. So, alright, let's go craft up our 2 ore dictionary filters. And then let's, oh, I got to pop downstairs. I got to get one tool real quick. And that is the screwdriver. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to just right-click here. We're going to say mode is going to be import. We're going to be importing stuff from that side, which will be where the memory chest is. And what we're going to do is we are going to put in the ore dictionary filter. And what we're going to be pulling in is going to be tiny piles, right? So if we take a look, like right here, we've got tiny pile of manganese dust. And it's dust, tiny manganese in that case. Okay, so what we're going to do is right in here, we're going to say dust, tiny, and then we're going to do a star, which is wildcard. Okay, so it's going to be any tiny dust. And we're going to set this to supply exact. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull exactly the number of items that we set. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to set this to 9 items per second. Okay, so it can only pull in 9 items, no more, no less at a time. It has to have 9 items or it's not going to do anything. Okay, and so then what we're going to do is we're going to set our memory chest. And by the way, just a forewarning, whenever you're setting your ore dictionary filter, I didn't know this, but Nico Loki crashed the server last night. I was actually planning on this episode coming out the day before. You know, I was planning on this coming out Monday. It didn't work out because Nico Loki, we're going to blame it on them. But anyways, I'm just saying as a heads up, do not just put a star in your ore dictionary. Make sure that you actually put the correct ore dictionary and not just a wild card, because then it crashes and it's just a crash loop. So the block has to be removed if that happens, because our server got stuck in a crash loop last night. So just a forewarning, make sure and do your ore dictionary correctly. Otherwise, you will run into some really bad times. So then we're going to take our memory chest. We're going to put this down. And the nice thing about the memory chest, once again, means we don't have to set a filter. So what we can do is we can take, say, this manganese dust, and we can slot this. We can middle click so it saves manganese dust. And you can see it just pulled in 9 tiny piles of manganese dust. And then let's come over here and let's do nickel dust. Okay, and we're going to put this right in there. We're going to click it. Now, right now, it just pulled that in. We're going to deal with that in just a second. We have to get a program circuit so that it knows what to do with... I saw something laying on the ground there. So that it knows what to do with what it's getting. So, let's pop in here. I've actually got some spares of these, because they've been giving them to us for quests and stuff. These tiny piles in the packer, you can see it needs to be configuration 1. So we're just going to do that. And let's pop back up here. And we're just going to drop this into the packer in that slot. And there we go. There's manganese dust. And we'll go ahead and drop that nickel in there. And there we go. It's starting to pull that in, but it has to be in intervals of 9, no more, no less. So you can see right now there's 5 in there. It's not going to touch that. And then what we can do is we can run our item conduits up. And we're going to plug them into that memory chest. We're going to set the insert to blue. We're going to set the priority to 9. And we're going to say you can insert right there. And then, let's see, this is 4. I don't think it's going to go higher than 4. Maybe, but I doubt it. No, it won't go higher than 4, actually. I can say that for sure. So we're just going to plug that in. And we should say nickel starts coming into here. Oh, wait. It's going to pull in all this stuff right now, because we don't have this thing filled out. So what I'm going to do is... just going to lock all of this as nickel for now. And then we can add and remove things as needed. Okay. There we go. And then what we're going to do... Let me actually replace a lot of this stuff. Well, let's see, the forge hammer. Let's go ahead and drop in the purified yellow limonite and get that running. I want to get this stuff out of my inventory because this is where this stuff's going to go. So if it can't go to that memory chest, it's going to go here. And I don't think any of the tiny piles can be processed by this. So, okay, as I add things, it's probably going to get dumped in here, but that's not going to be a big issue. We can add that stuff to where it needs to go. This we're going to leave on a priority of 0. So then it can dump in the purified yellow limonite as it gets made. And you can see that these are now empty and free to run. Okay, and we'll deal with this packager here in just a second. We're just going to let this stuff build up for the time being. And I think the manganese can just get smelted. We can always crush it back down. Oops. Like this. We can always pulverize it if we are making, stainless steel or HSSE. And we could do that for most things. So there will be some things that don't get smelted, and we will handle those. But for right now, I think all of this stuff, I know nickel and manganese will get smelted. But for example, cinnabar. I don't think we'll be smelting cinnabar, right? So once it comes time for that, we'll have to add that to the autoclave. We'll cross that bridge here shortly. Because, yeah, we actually are going to use more memory chests. So we'll get to that here in just a second. Okay, so now we've got that stuff in place. And then what we're going to do is, let's see, we'll handle the stuff from the forge hammer. It's going to make purified piles. That's fine. This is always going to go into the centrifuge, I think. And so what we'll do is we'll say the centrifuge you can insert on purple. And over here, you're going to extract on purple, round robin, always active, extract. Okay, so that stuff's going to start going into the centrifuge. And there we go. We're making tiny piles of manganese dust and tiny piles of brown limonite dust. All right, so then what we're going to do is let's pop up here. And this is going to be extracting on the cyan line. We'll go ahead and say always active. You can extract. We'll pop up here. We're going to add another cable that comes out right here. We're going to say that you can insert on the cyan line, priority of 9. Insert. There we go. Of course, this is filtered, so you can see it's getting that manganese out of there, but it's not getting the yellow limonite or the brown limonite. Let's go ahead and pull out the brown limonite. We're going to pop up here, and we are going to add brown limonite. There we go. And that can start building up. Okay. So that's getting emptied out now. And we've got this, we're stuck with this yellow limonite. So then what we're going to do is we're going to set up a memory chest right here. And we're going to put this setting, so these are basically going to be deciding what goes in the electric furnace, what goes in the autoclave. We're going to put the memory chest setting here. Will be the first one. And I'm going to have to make, altogether I'm going to need 2 more memory chests. And I'm going to need 1 more robot arm. So we'll get that in just a second. So this right here, let's go ahead and grab our yellow limonite. And we're just going to set this to filters. And then we'll also have zinc in this as well. Okay, I've been getting some stuff together. There's our other MV robot arm. And then this should be done. Yeah, we got a memory chest. We'll go ahead and grab that. So let me go ahead and wait for this other one really quick. There we go. Okay, and so then what we're going to do, over here, this has been kicking away. This actually might, yeah, go ahead and dump this in there. Let's see, this is filling up really quick with nickel. So, and then this is building up on limonite. You could say this is all backed up at the moment. I need to set this. Oh yeah, this is actually, the reason it's backed up is because there's only one spot that's accepting brown limonite. This is backing up on yellow limonite because I haven't set this. What we need to do, this is pulling out on cyan. And so since this has filters, let's go ahead and we're going to set the insert here to cyan. Okay, so it's going to start dumping all that yellow limonite into here. And then this stuff, this chest is going to handle stuff that gets smelted. And so what we'll do is this yellow limonite is going to get pulled out, and we're going to have this on the light gray channel. We'll say round robin, always active, extract, and then this is going to insert on the light gray. There we go. Okay, so this stuff should be getting smelted now. Awesome. And there we go. It's making iron nuggets. And so then what we're going to do, we're going to use this other robot arm. We're going to put this on this packager. You probably see where I'm going here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set this to, let me get that. We're going to throw this into there. And we're just going to put nugget wildcard. And we're going to say mode is import, transfer is going to be supply exact, and we're going to set this to 9 items per second. So there we go. And then we're going to set up a memory chest that sets right here. And this thing, go ahead and grab this. And this is going to be for compressing our nuggets. So let me go ahead. Okay. And packaging nuggets is configuration 1. Okay, so let's go pop over and let's get ourselves another one of those little circuits. I think it's actually the last one I've got, because they gave us a few for quests, so then we'll just add that to the packager, and there we go. It's going to start compressing that, making iron nuggets. Awesome. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up the extraction line. Now this is going to be the general extraction line for this. So we're going to say it's going to be, let's actually do, we're going to set it to black. Black is going to be the general extraction. Round robin, we're going to leave that off. We're going to say always active, extract on black. And then what we're going to do is, let's set up an item conduit line that plugs in right there. This is going to insert on black. And so there we go. It's getting iron nuggets. They're getting pulled out. They're getting compressed into ingots. Okay. And we're going to set the priority of this up to 10. Of course, it can only accept things that are in this memory chest. And then this is where stuff's going to start going into, which actually this can go. But this is where stuff's going to start going into these. And so we'll go ahead and just set up our conduits. And then these are going to, actually this will be a wall. And so what we'll do is we'll say that you can insert on black. You can insert on black, and so on. And I'll have to add more conduits to this, you know, as we get more ingots and stuff going through here. But for right now, that's going to be fine. If we take a look inside of our packager, what we need to do is we need to extract off of this. So let's go ahead and run up conduits here. This one is going to extract on black, always active. Okay, so that's going to start getting pulled out. And the ingots should be going over to here. So right now we've got 1,857 in there. And there's 8. It should be just about to get another batch. So 1,858. Okay, awesome. So that's working. That's working perfectly. And so then what we're going to do, that's all working. It's smelting. Beautiful. Forge hammer got stone dust. Now, why did you get stone dust? Because the insert priority is 0. See, if I pull that out, I'm going to watch that. That shouldn't do that. But if it does, then I can always set a blacklist. If for some reason it sees that it's too far removed. Okay, it's having power issues right now. Which basically just means I need to set up more steam turbines. What I might do is set up another line of turbines like right here. Split off this line from the 4x10 cable and have this dedicated to a separate set of 4x10 cables. It's no biggie. Let's see, what's it take to centrifuge? It's only 5 EU per tick. Okay, it's working again. It was running something that took a lot of power. But that is something that I will probably do. I've actually got one turbine here, but I can't attach another one onto this because I've already got 4 on this line. So I could either upgrade to, say, 8x10 cables. I don't know. What I'll probably do, like I said, is just break that off, put 4 turbines like right here that plug into there, and it'll run this half, and then 4 that run this half or something. But that's something we can cross later, because right now it's running. It's just not perfect right now. And what we're going to do here is the manganese dust, for example. This is going to need to get pulled out and go straight into the cyan line. You know, this right here. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to attach a cable here. We're going to say you can extract on cyan, always active. And then we need to slot this. So let's take our manganese. Let's add that there. And then slot that. Okay, so manganese can come in right here. And then it should be getting nickel now. And so then what we'll do is we'll take our nickel, we'll slot that. And then we should see that's building up. Okay, awesome. And we will probably, I know we'll have stuff like rare earth and stuff that come in here, but that's going to get sent to a different memory chest. That's why we got extra memory chests. So that all's running now. And we've still got a lot of brown limonite built up. It's going to take a little while. Yeah, this is kind of the cutoff point. But it's having to wait for the stuff to get extracted because we've got all these tiny piles of brown limonite. But it has to finish packaging that stuff. Okay, that's starting to get all caught up now. And brown limonite is starting to build up in here. The furnace is kind of the issue point. But one of the ore washing plants has stopped. This is steadily starting to get itself caught up. So it's going to be easier here soon. But okay, but this is running and working right now. Like I said, I got to get some more steam turbines, but I'll get that together. So I tell you what, while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and set this memory chest up right here. We're going to get into that here in just a second. But for right now, I just want to get it out of my inventory. That one's going to be for stuff that goes in the autoclave. And then I've also got like well, I'm going to wait till this stuff finishes running. And I'll be back here in just a minute once all this stuff is done. Okay, this is finished running. And it's been a little bit. I did add a few things. Like there's banded iron, there's malachite, yellow limonite, and I can't remember, zinc, I think, or something. But anyways, I've been running some stuff through here, and you can see the filters, they've expanded. And I went ahead and ran over some cables, and I made a decision. I don't think we're actually going to run anything. I was thinking there'd be at least a couple things we run and just automatically through the autoclave, but I don't think we're going to. The reason being, like, for example, like Cinnabar. Take Cinnabar, for example. If we were to just go ahead and just pump this straight into the autoclave, we get Cinnabar, which that's cool and everything, but you can also run it and get sulfur and mercury. There's so many, basically most things that go in the autoclave also have electrolyzer recipes that we will be needing to use. So I don't think we're going to run anything just automatically through the autoclave. I think that's going to be something that we handle a little bit differently. So also I am probably going to get this moved over between episodes, and we're probably going to set up something for that because you know, we will have like aluminum and stuff coming from this system. So I'm going to want stuff being able to be auto pumped into the blast furnace. But what I want to do is, or what I've actually started doing, because it's about wrapping up point, but I wanted to just really quickly show you this. But if we were to throw redstone in there, and this is going to come over here and it's going to get processed down. Redstone is one of the like special cases that we're going to handle a little bit differently just because of the way that it processes. So it makes the crushed redstone ore. This goes in here. By the way, I do need to set this up because for whatever reason it's still getting the stone. And so what I want to do is I want to set this up as a blacklist, no stone dust allowed in there. Okay, because it keeps getting stone dust, and that's of course an issue. So this cinnabar, of course we're going to add this right there. So the cinnabar can get shipped up here. It's going to get processed by the packager. This pulls out on the cyan color. And so what I want to do is I want to add to this, I want to say that you can insert on cyan. And we'll say that's a priority of 10. I guess it really doesn't matter. And then over here, we're going to say you can insert on cyan as well. That's for rare earth. Okay, because we're going to have rare earth coming from the system as well. And so we need to make sure that that's taken care of also. Okay, so this is processing. There's the rare earth, and we're going to add this, of course, to that. There we go. And that should be getting pulled out and getting sent over there. Okay, now the redstone. This is where the special case comes in. This pulls out on the cyan line. And so what we're going to do, you can see I just ran these conduits down through here. I had to make more of them, but I actually have to make more pulsating iron next time I need some. But for example, we have 26 in there. Let's say insert. We'll say priority is 10. It doesn't really matter that we set that, I guess. But okay, so now we have 33 redstone. Okay, so the redstone, nothing's going to go into the furnace at all. Nothing's going to come over here. That's all we have to do is we just have to make sure it's being sent somewhere. So everything's getting pulled out and getting sent to where it goes. And there we go. So that stuff's taken care of. And basically all that stuff that can go through the autoclave, we'll just send it over here. And then if we want to autoclave it, if we need cinnabar, we need rare earth, we need lapis, we need, you know, whatever, we can just come over here and we can pull it out for now. And then later on, once we get into, you know, auto processing, then we can auto process it if need be. But I think that would be better because a lot of this stuff you can't actually turn back. You know, if I was to turn this into cinnabar, I don't think, I want to say that there's no way that I can turn back the clock on it. Well, yeah, I can do that. But anyways, we end up wasting liquid starlight and all that. So it's just not worth it to bother with doing that, I don't think. So. And this is the way I'm setting this up, and then there'll be like another layer of drawers up there. And that way, whenever we get into probably AE2, we're going to be able to put storage buses on all of our caches. So, yay. And then, yeah, we should be good. We should be in a good position. So basically at this point, it's basically just a process of expanding on this. But all the bases are here. The only thing we really have to do now is move our blast furnace and set it up so that all of our aluminum dust is auto inserted into the input bus. You know, after it gets packed into aluminum dust, it needs to get automatically sent here and then pulled out of the output bus, which we'll get into that. We'll probably just briefly cover that next episode, and I'll get that moved to kind of where its permanent place is going to be. I have to decide where that's going to be at, and then we'll get that set up. And then the last thing that I want to do, just really, really quickly, is I want to pull up all of these advanced mechanical pipes, just really, really quick, because I've got these now. I didn't have these whenever I first set it up, and then I made more, and then, yeah. And that way we can move those ugly pipes out of there, and we'll say always active. So this should be able to keep this filled with water because they're not the fastest thing in the world, so. And that way we don't have those mechanical pipes right in front of them, right in front of all of our ore washing plants. So once we put facades in, it'll be a whole lot cleaner looking at this than it was. So, but anyways, that is everything that we have in there so far. And then basically I just have to keep adding stuff and, yeah, processing down more ores and all that. So, but I think anything that can go in the autoclave is going to get stored into a drawer. I think everything. There might be some special cases, and if there is, then I'll let you guys know. But I think at the moment, it's probably going to be like most everything. So, but anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I'm going to end this one out here. Next episode, like I said, we'll briefly set up this, just automatic for aluminum, and then we will move on to whatever our next project is going to be. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be next episode, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It might be moving into more MV stuff, or a bit more into magic, or actually we didn't even get into nodes this episode because what I ended up setting up didn't require nodes. But whenever we get into the tree farm, we're going to need nodes. So originally I was going to use nodes more for this system, but I think it worked out well with the conduits and the robot arms, and we didn't actually end up needing nodes. But we are going to need nodes here soon, though. So we'll probably start getting into that, but we'll see. We'll see where it takes us. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. I'm hoping to get some floors laid out between this episode and next. Fingers crossed. So hopefully we'll have a floor that's not cobblestone and stone and snow come next episode. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.